The social work profession is very noble, according to me, because it deals with human beings, ultimately, to drive them towards their happiness, prosperity, and family well being. No other profession is closely related to and deep involvement in understanding human behavior and psychology, etc., in other professions. But in our profession, this is the crux of the issue. But that's why I said the profession of social work is a noble one. You may take up assignments in any field. It can be medical social work, psychiatric social work, community development with an NGO, or even enter into HR in any organization. I think most of the people are entering to HR nowadays because of various reasons. Everywhere, this profession is totally, absolutely human related. This is one thing we should try to understand. Here, we should set an objective to excel in the job. It is not just managing the work in a routine manner, but excel, which is very important. Excel leads to great accomplishment of jobs. One derives a lot of pleasure and passion for work, and there is continual improvement. Now, we are already aware we are in a rapidly fast developing and changing environment in all spheres of activities, be it be technical or even non-technical. This calls for clear understanding of the rapidity and appreciation and adaptation to changes by everyone. To start with, the change management must be in oneself to start with. Accept the change management and help guide others to accept change. This is one of the main tasks of social work, according to me. In this time, it is for everyone to assert ourselves in our professionalism. That's very important. We have to assert ourselves in profession. In order to accomplish effective professionalism in any area, adequate skills and ability are absolutely essential. I said there are two skills. One we call it as a soft skill, and another is a hard skill. One should get expertise in both the skills, and most importantly, balancing. If you are strong in hard skills but weak in hard skills, it will not work. If you are strong in hard skills but weak in soft skills, then it is not effective professional. So one needs to balance. This is very important. Now here one needs to make his own decision, oneself. Should I accomplish effective professionalism, or just I will manage as it comes? The decision is oneself. If we decide that effective professionalism I adopt and I continually develop myself towards this, the soft skills we have to get acquired. What are the soft skills? Broadly, of course, there are so many things, but broadly, I point out honesty, integrity, self discipline, patience, empathy, no ego, but humbleness, and help and guide others, understand the problems, and social skills. This is very important. Here, one must acquire the skill of knowing fully all others in terms of everything of the person, because this will help you in transforming a person or correcting a person or driving towards a prosperity. So, this skill is very important, and sociability, of course, naturally, and no selfishness under any circumstances. Now, please look at yourselves with full conscious and evaluate yourself as to where do we stand in in terms of these attributes. Wherever our weak points occurs to you, one must determine to unlearn it. So determine this very strongly and make up the mind and overcome the weak point and unlearn and move towards positiveness. I repeat, the decision is one's own. Once you have these positive attributes, this leads to leadership. One must possess leadership qualities for any task dealing with human human and behavior easing out. It may be issue like transforming a person to towards positivity, make him disciplined or make him ethical, make him with a positive attitudes. All this works. Then most importantly, the conflict resolutions, discipline management, healthy grievance management, and importantly, the change management. Here, if you accomplish this, one gets automatic respect, recognition, appreciation, and self motivation, and your contribution to the profession itself. Now, coming to the hard skills. Whatever we have read in MSW schools are totally mismatched today to the task what we are going to handle. Here where one needs to enhance the competency. The competency building is a continual task. One should never gets into a complacency circle. If one becomes complacency, then automatically his learning stops. Once the learning stops, your continual improvement totally stops. Then you will not be a hard skill person under any circumstances. Hence, this is extremely important to build the competency acquiring is extremely important. Now, for instance, the competencies today, talent acquisition, inductions. Let us take the example of talent acquisition. In today's context, talent acquisition is an important task. It is not just interviewing a person and make him take up the job. It is not so. One has to assess his level of emotional intelligence. That is absolutely required, because today's business you require a person with strong emotional intelligence. So talent acquisition is not a routine, but it is to be with emotional intelligence, which you need to learn and acquire and do that. And for induction and follow-ups, this will help. Then performance management system. You should be thorough with competency, because here also performance management system is a very, very delicate and an important segment of management. And training and development. Here also assessment of training needs and development and follow up. Then compensation and rewards. Then employee relations, dispute resolutions. Then align the trade union with business goals. This is extremely important, friends. One has to align the union with the business goals. That's going to be the main task of the HR, in other words, a professional social worker. Then collective bargaining, then legal competencies. Legal competency, I don't say that you should become an advocate, but at the same time, you should acquire the complete knowledge of the deep knowledge of the legal provisions applicable to the organization. You should be able to evaluate what is right, what is wrong. Then you should be able to authoritatively convince the top management about what is right, what is wrong. For this, you have to acquire legal competency. Then learn organization culture, organization development, then motivation to keep the morale high. Then apart from business awareness is extremely important here because you need to forecast the future business and any changes, any likely changes, the likely challenges the business is going to face. You should proactively work towards that and create a mindset amongst the people to prepare them to accept the changes and go ahead. This is very, very important. And at the same time, you should develop competencies in other disciplines of management, like it can be finance, it can be production, it can be industrial engineering, it can be marketing, it may be cost accountants, whatever it is. You should acquire thorough knowledge of these multiple disciplines in the factory. This is extremely important, the competency building. Here where one must acquire and the skills of learning of casework and group work in the latest models. We must try to do that. Now, once you are thorough with all this, is a continual learning. Hard skills is a continual learning, and soft skills, you have to sustain it and enhance it very, very effectively. Then you will be able to balance the both hard skills and the soft skills, and you will become an effective leader. This is very important. Now, please debate among yourselves whether what would you like to choose to become a good leader. You have to choose your pathway and go ahead with that. So, thank you all. Wish you all the best.